Hello everyone and welcome back. Following on from my previous videos on Hbar, I wanted to give a quick update as there's some big things brewing over on the testnet side of things, as well as some recent upgrades to the system that have been made. First of all, let's take a jump in and have a look at the current price action we've seen for Hedera over the course of 2022. So we're still trading sideways effectively, as is most of the crypto market. We have seen a general uptick from the bottom that we saw, which was a couple of days ago now, approaching on a week. Still in a really nice accumulation zone, and I think we'll continue to see upwards movement towards these previous resistance levels, which will most likely flip and turn into support levels as we run towards the previous all-time highs. Anyway, that's enough on what's happening with the price action. Let's get into what's actually happening with Hedera and some big updates. In a previous video, it'll be in a card. Now, I mentioned one of my favorite software wallets for the Hedera ecosystem, and that being Hashpack. Well, Hashpack came out of an update a few days ago. They're continually developing this service. It's very new, and they're constantly pushing through changes. The latest one being for NFT support came out a little while ago, and they're now looking at NFT secure trading, which allows royalty and fallback fees for both creators and collectors. So a massive piece of enablement work for the Hedera ecosystem and NFTs in particular, especially important when we start looking at Web 3.0 and moving in that general direction. Next massive piece of news is the latest Hedera network upgrade has optimized transaction finality to just under 3 seconds. This wasn't something that was particularly needed, but it just goes to show the power of the Hashgraph algorithm that is being utilized by Hedera. This upgrade obviously means massive transactions per second apps have potential to onboard soon effectively into the network. Few comments in this Reddit thread as well, talking about how the actual transactions per second have been sub 2 seconds since this update got pushed. So massive improvements for Hedera here. The next main thing as well, in the last 24 hours we've seen, well, this was a couple of days ago, but we nearly had 100,000 new accounts that got added to Hedera, as well as seeing over 16,000 transactions per second on the testnet. So something clearly massive happening here. To put this in perspective, 16,000 transactions per second is roughly 1.4 billion transactions per day. Not only that, if you sort of extrapolated that out across the year, that would be something along the lines of $5 billion of Hbar purchases to fulfill those transactions throughout the course of a year. So pretty crazy, especially when we see, or we think, we do a bit of a thought experiment and say, okay, well, what requires that many transactions per second? Well, here is some data from Statista.com for 2020 and some previous years of some of the biggest brands that facilitate current payments, and we can see here, I mean, Visa in 2020, 188 billion transactions for the year, and these are the kind of providers that will require 16,000, 20,000 transactions per second in order to keep up with demand. So there's clearly some huge projects brewing just from the fact that Hedera's testnet is processing 16,000 transactions. They are obviously testing some massive scale apps, which is fantastic to see. And we can also see as well, beginning of January, so on the 6th here, partnership with the drone radar system for the UK government. A company called Neuron has partnered with Hedera to help leverage the Hedera network to track their drones when they're basically not in service. So again, another use case that's getting brought onto Hedera. This is one of the biggest things for the Hedera ecosystem is use cases. It's a utility token. The entire blockchain is just full of utility, and there's use cases coming out of the woodwork left, right and center. So some really exciting things to come. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like, drop a comment. I will be releasing some more information and videos on Hedera, especially as we head towards Q2 for staking. I'll be all over that. Cheers for watching.